All of the views and opinions expressed here are those of the individual speaking and may not be representative of Konig American. At times, language may be considered vulgar. Listener discretion is suggested.
You are now listening to the Konig Behind the Wheel podcast.
If you can hear us, let us know. Like we got levels.
Check.
All right. Can you hear us now? If you're out there, if you can hear us, give us a thumbs up. But let's do this again. That's right. We have another edition of the Wheel Wednesday podcast.
The final
wanna
one.
Yeah, that's
the final one for 2020.
I want to welcome all of you. Thank you for coming in, joining us on this podcast. I just wanted to do some house maintenance before we start the podcast. So first, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't just yet. And also wanted to talk about the podcast that we did last week. But before we do that, let me introduce myself. My name is Luis. I am the marketing and media specialist here at Konig. And we have
Jared, I'm the marketing coordinator at konigwheels.
So thank you for joining us on this podcast. So talking about last week's podcast, we actually had Fitment Industries. We had our buddies Dakota and Gels talking about their giveaway. They, actually have one of the T-shirts on. Check it out. Boom, boom.
Nice. Yeah, free stuff. Free stuff is always good stuff. And the added benefit with this giveaway was that every entry also gets some money for charity.
Oh, yeah,
which is really
right,
cool.
That's right. Yep.
So killing two birds with one stone. So
The giveaway is over January 8th, so get it in there. Every $5 that you put in gives you an entry for the giveaway. So, like, for instance, this shirt, every $5 you put towards the shirt goes towards a giveaway, so that's pretty awesome. And also, just wanted to say also this week we have some new content coming out. We actually, hopefully, luckily on Friday we'll have a Hype is Right. That'll be episode 4.
Oh, we're going to have it.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have
Oh,
it.
yeah. We got some special guests on that I'm sure you guys don't want to miss. So make sure you tune in on Friday. And if you didn't catch last one, we actually had some cool guests on there, too. We had our buddy Gingium. We had Taylor Hall, James Houghton, some of the guys that we work with over here.
And this time around, we'll have some new faces.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have some new faces. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for that one. And also, if you missed last week's content as well, we actually had stocking stuffers, which we gave you 10 ideas for those stocking stuffers. It was pretty cool. Scott gave you some of those ideas. And yeah, go check that out.
Things that literally fit in a stocking.
Yeah. So we're excited to have you guys here. This is the end of the year podcast. Thank you for joining us. We're about to bring in 2021 heavy, you know what I mean? So I'm excited. And yeah, what are we doing today, Jared?
Today we are talking to the CEO of Konig Wheels,
It's
this company.
The president
Sorry.
of Konig Wheels is going to be joining us today. I'm excited to have him because he has some cool stories. He's been here for over 25 years, so it's really exciting to have him here soon. And yeah, I've been here for 4 years now, so I've gotten to know him pretty well, and I'm pretty excited to have this conversation. And also him to open up about stuff that happened in the past that I wasn't here for, that Scott wasn't here for either, that he can kind of shed some light on because he has infinite knowledge of this industry. So it's really exciting to get his perspective and what's going on within the company as well. And you guys get to kind of see that as well and hear it. So I'm excited for that as well. But yeah, so we'll do that without further ado. We're going to bring him in a few. But before we do that, is there anything else that we need to mention?
I'm not too sure. I mean, supposedly we're still working through some technical difficulties, so I don't know if they can hear us still.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why Dad was in here. So we could
man.
we could be talking in pantomime right now for all we know. I'm not understanding because we have levels.
What happened?
Disconnect the mics. Oh, it's high pitched.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus. All right, well, stand by. I'm glad I've been sounding like a chipmunk the entire time. That's always good. Oh no.
Hold on tight, guys, as we handle these technical difficulties that we're dealing with. But if you're in the chat or if you're watching us right now, drop us a comment. If you have any questions, we're actually going to be doing some stuff later on, some Q&As that we'll more than happy to answer them. I mean, I'm not Scott. I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to some of this car stuff, but we'll give it a try, and I'll answer them the best I can. Yeah. Hold on tight, guys. We'll be back with you in a few. Hold on.
All right,
And
we're
here we
back
are.
on. All right, sorry guys, we started to sound a little bit like the chipmunks, but it's perfect for the season, right?
I know,
No?
right?
Aren't they like a very big Christmas thing?
Yeah, Christmas left us. So where did we? I
But
guess
yeah.
we should start from the top, right?
So, well, if you were here before, if you were listening before, we actually were just doing some house maintenance, talking about the podcast last week. We had Fitment Industries and talking about their giveaway. Make
Would
sure
your
to
opinion
Maybe
change if
I'll
it had
go
a
go
with your
check
box.
that out.
Yeah.
They actually have it
Guys,
on
we
their
are
website,
instantly improving our podcast. I
fitmentindustries.com,
want to show it to you.
where they talk
Slash
We just got this
giveaway.
right in, right
Yep,
off
yep.
the press here.
And just to let you know, the giveaway ends January 8th, so get it in. Go get your T-shirts. Go get that merchandise so you can get entered. Because every $5 that you put in gets you an entry into the giveaway. And just like you were saying, this is going to charity, so it's all going to a good deed.
It's killing two birds with one stone, so to speak.
That's awesome. And this week, once again, we're having some content come out. We're actually having Hype is Right episode 4 with some special guests, some people that Jared brought in, some awesome people that, he got to bring in, and also some of our guys as well that I'm excited to check out. So make sure to tune in this Friday to some of that content, because I'm sure you guys are all going to dig that. So don't miss out on that. And
Last week we had a stocking stuffer video. If you were a little late to your Christmas gift shopping or needed to throw in some last minute stuff, we gave you 10 tips for cool things to put in your loved one's stocking stuffer. So if not now, do it, save it for next year. You never know, right?
Yep. So, yes, this is welcome to the Behind the Wheel podcast once again. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but we're back, and this is the end of the year podcast. This is in a few days we're going to be in 2021, so I'm actually excited that 2020 is ending. It was one of the weirdest years.
I think everybody's excited that 2020 is over. Let's just be honest.
For sure. It was definitely a weird one, but I'm optimistic. I always have a positive outlook on everything, and I'm hoping that 2021 comes out a little bit better. And yeah, I'm just excited for 2021, and I hope you guys out there are as well.
Yeah, everybody have a safe and healthy New Year's. Don't party too hard.
Now, just so you can let them know who we're going to have today on the podcast, Jared.
Yeah, so we are going to have the president of Konig Wheels, Joe Schaefer.
Nice. Yeah. So as I was saying before, when I was sounding like I had helium in my throat, I'm actually excited to have Joe on here because he's very knowledgeable when it comes to this industry. He knows a lot. He's been in it for over 25 years. So I'm just excited to have a conversation with him and also talk about Konig. I've been working here for 4 years, and he has some really cool, solid stories about the company, how it rose and all that stuff. He was there for all the Fast and the Furious boom and all that stuff. So I'm excited to just kind of get his perspective on Konig, because he's so knowledgeable of it,
And then get a little look into the future too, right? How he feels about, where we're going and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, for sure. I'm excited for that. But yeah, without further ado, we're actually going to bring him in here. He's actually going to join us in this room. We were going to Zoom with him, but we figured it'd be better to have him in live with us in this room. Jared is actually going to step out, and I'm going to be in here. So stay tuned. We'll be back with you in a second. But check out this video that Alex did of our president, Joe Schaefer.
Some people think a wheel is just round, but there's a lot going on there.
Their global distribution gave us immediate distribution through the ASEAN area.
How you doing, everyone? We're back, and we're with the one and only, the myth, the man, the legend, the one and only Joe Schaefer, president of Konig Wheels. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing great, everybody. Happy New Year to everyone.
So, Joe, just to get right into it, I wanted to ask you a couple questions, just because I was telling them before, you've been in this industry for over 25 years, so you're extremely knowledgeable about the industry. And I know a lot of the people that tune in are fans of Konig, so it's a treat for them to have you here with them, and we're excited to have you. So right into it, we wanted to ask you, how long have you been with Konig? Well, I already said that, but How did you get involved with the company in the first place?
Okay, so I owned my own retail store and sold tires and wheels and accessories as well. And Konig at that time sold racing seats,
That's right.
and I was a Konig seat dealer.
Mm.
The owner of Konig at the time got an opportunity to import some wheels. So I'm happy to say that the first 40 wheels of Konig that were sold in America came directly to my store.
Oh, let me bring this in a little closer.
And that's how I got involved. They weren't wheel people, I was. And so the very first 40 wheels that came into America came to my store.
Mm.
Fast forward another 5 years down the road, and they asked me to come to work for them, and I had an opportunity. I sold my stores, and I went to work for Konig.
That's awesome. And how would you say from like then till now, how has the company evolved in your perspective?
Well, every company has to evolve or die.
Mm.
So we have to stay on top of things, and things constantly change. Like I said, Koenig sold seats, but seats were not something that were needed in the latter years when cars came with better seats.
Mm.
So we went from a company that sold a few wheels to a company that sells entirely wheels.
Yeah.
It's a constant evolving.
So back then, it was also still known as Konig, or was it just because obviously we're Konig wheels now, but was it always Konig, or did it go through different names? And
No,
whatnot?
it was always Koenig because the seats were seats made in Germany, Koenig seats, and we were Koenig of North America. So that's where the name initially came from.
Right.
I started buying Koenig wheels Koenig products in 1983.
And so from that point on, is that when Rick brought you in already? You were already part of the company, or what? Because you were a separate company,
No,
right?
I came into the company in 95, officially as an employee. But I was friends and helped him develop the wheels through my store. And then eventually
Very cool.
it was a good synergy between Rick and myself, and we're still great friends.
See, I learned something today. I didn't even know that. That's pretty cool. All right. So yeah, just moving on. Hold on. I wanted to ask you. Okay. So I know you've been here for obviously for over 25 years. This is something that I wanted to ask you. Me and Scott actually spoke about. You obviously seen the company go up and down. What would you say is one of the most memorable moments working for Koenig?
Business-wise, it's hard to say, but without a doubt, the proudest moment for Koenig as a company was when Ricky was retiring. He won the SEMA Hall of Fame Award, which was a big deal. Well earned.
Yeah.
Fast forward a couple of years later, and I received the same award, and I'm really proud that Koenig is the only wheel company in the history of SEMA that has two people in the Hall of Fame in the wheel industry. So
Very cool. Very
that was
cool.
important to me.
Very cool. And so, and this is one of the other, well, and congratulations, because I wasn't there for that either. So, I get to say it now, but that's awesome to know that. Oh, he has to get it a little closer. That's okay. Let me move this up a little bit. That's awesome. You know what I mean? I didn't know that either. So one of the cool things about doing this interview, even though I've talked to you a lot, I've never asked you these questions. I never got to know some of these things about the company. So I'm very excited to actually get to know these things. And I've been to SEMA, and trust me, when I was there, when I got to go that year, it was really awesome because a lot of people have a lot of respect for you and Scott and stuff like that. So it was really cool to kind of see SEMA in the perspective I got to see it. Behind the scenes, but also walking around, being able to say, "Oh yeah, I worked for Koenig," was very cool for me. So, but yeah, that's one of the things that Scott had actually mentioned to me that I wanted to know about is he had mentioned something about that Koenig was such a small, in the beginning it was very different. You guys had a smaller office or something to that effect. Can you explain that story that Scott is talking about?
Well, initially we had a much smaller office, and business really, when we hit our stride, growth was outstanding. And one of the things I'm proud of with our employees is that everyone did whatever they had to do. But we were bringing in and shipping out so many wheels that we couldn't put them in the building. We'd unload the containers outside, put them on pallets, and stay there until trucks could pick them up because we had nowhere to put them.
That's crazy.
And Ricky, the owner at the time, I was a general manager at the time. We were out there loading and unloading ourselves. The secretaries would be out there, whatever it took.
So what if it was like overnight? What would you guys do?
We'd stay there. We'd do whatever we had to do.
So you would stay overnight with the
to
wheels?
Watch the wheels, yes.
Wow. To what we've grown now, huh? We have our own facility and everything. That's amazing. That's amazing to hear. Very cool. All right, cool. So the next thing I wanted to ask you, and this is a very simple question, but just something that I know a lot of people would ask you. What would you say is your favorite design throughout all the years that you've been working at Koenig?
So today, I'm probably more about what we're engineering, what we're designing, and fitments making, and weight changes than I am the design part. You guys are about the design part today.
Yeah.
And the people that buy our wheels, their input's about the design. So for me, today it's more about technology. But if you got to ask me what's my wheel, I'll go back to the Konig tuner because it was the beginning for us. It was what really made us take off.
So that's actually a great segue to what I wanted. This is actually a personal question. So for me, I knew about Koenig as a younger kid through the Fast and the Furious boom. Also for a video game that came out, which was Need for Speed. That was actually in the game, an option to update your car was to put Koenig
wheels on it. Yep.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that time and how exciting it was.
Fast and Furious is the perfect way to put it. We were living life in the fast lane. We were spending time in Japan. We were at Import Auto Salon in Japan for 12 years in a row. We were doing hot import nights.
Yeah.
2 and 3 times a week. We were doing import show-offs. We were everywhere all the time. It was just life in the fast lane. Great time for our industry, and certainly a great time for our segment and for Koenig.
Yeah, I know some of the stories you've told me that you and Rick have had, like some of the best times out in different countries and whatnot. So that's really exciting. What would you say is like an event that stood out to you the most when you went to? One that you went to?
It was probably the first at Japan. First time we went to Japan and went to a true Japanese show, and when that was at its peak as well. This was really when it was going on. Just the whole culture thing. The first time to go to Japan, the first time to go to these shows, to meet all the people and whatnot.
Is there someone that you met that you were like, that was one of my moments?
Oh, I don't know if there was anyone in person in particular, but it was a good time. Like I said, it was fast forward. We were on airplanes. We were flying all over the world and moving all over the place. And now you guys get to do all the fun stuff, and I got to stay and do all the boring stuff.
We're trying. But anyway, all right. So this is one of the things so obviously, we sponsor a lot of people in motorsports recently and whatnot. For instance, like drifting and NASA and stuff like that. Is there a specific motorsport that you would say you're interested in a lot?
Probably doesn't belong with Koenig, but I'm a past NASCAR stock car
That's
driver.
right. For people that don't know.
That's what I did until I got hurt.
Yep.
So that's still my true love, but I love all kinds of motorsports. We're car guys.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I went to California in the first Kurt Gordon, which was the guy we sponsored, his first 10-second street Honda Civic that I got to ride in. And for Honda Civic to go 10 seconds street driven was truly. Then we sponsored Ed Bergenholz, and it was
That's
a
right.
9-second car.
There it is right there. Look at that. He even has a little hat on.
And all the drift events. And we're car guys. If it's got a motor and it goes fast, we like it.
That's one of the things that I've noticed over the 4 years that I've been working here is, I wasn't, everybody knows I'm not initially a car guy, but working here over the 4 years, it was funny. I was talking to you the other day, and you had mentioned to me, you're like, you know what, working here, you're never gonna be a car guy. So I feel like as time has passed, I've been getting into it a little bit more and more. I've been talking to you about trying to get some maybe a car to work on and stuff like that. So that's really cool to know. Also, you telling us stories about your past and whatnot, that it's kind of inspiring, and knowing that within Koenig, we are family, but we're also trying to push out that enthusiast lifestyle to the fullest as much as we can. But yeah, all right. So now we're about to end 2020. This was a tough year. One of the weirdest years as far as like life in general. It was definitely a weird year. But we wanted to ask you, what would you say was the toughest thing for Koenig in 2020, if there was any toughness?
Well, business-wise, it really was not bad for us. We've had a good year. The toughest thing for me personally is worrying about our employees, worrying about our employees' families, making sure everyone was safe and secure.
Yeah, no, that's one of the things that we did here. I actually wasn't here for 3 months.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that we did for the company. Unfortunately, even though we wanted to be here working, because of everything going on, we actually had to go home and work from home, and we actually didn't do that bad. It wasn't that bad, but I think it's because we're a tight-knit family, so we work well together. And coming back to the office, it was kind of like me being at home because I feel comfortable here. So
Yeah. No, we did very well. Everyone kicked in. We got the job done. We missed the camaraderie of the office.
yeah.
And we like bouncing things off one another because that's where we get our information and our, what goes on. But we got it done.
So in the year 2020, aside from ourselves, what would you say for the aftermarket automotive companies? You think they dealt with anything this year besides us, let's say, per se?
The single biggest issue that I seen overall in the aftermarket accessory business was supply issues.
That's
I don't
right.
think anyone was prepared for what happened. They didn't know what was going to happen. Companies pulled back on ordering, just different reasons. But supply issues were probably, from what I've heard across the industry, the single biggest issue everyone had.
Yeah, and I do remember at that time, it wasn't even that we didn't, it was just with shipment and everything, it was a little weird. People were getting, wheels late, so that was definitely an uncomfortable thing for some of the people.
Quite honestly, remember, factories literally were shut down. It was a worldwide pandemic, so our factories literally were shut down for weeks, and in some cases, months.
It's funny to think about that now because it feels like this year was forever.
Right.
Like, I remember when that was going on. It feels like it was 2 years ago.
And we still haven't caught up. We still need better inventory than we have, but we've been battling to fill the void. So, which is a good problem.
All right. So now this is a really cool question that this is actually what Scott wrote down, and I thought it was a really cool question. So we've been around for over 40 years now. Well, going on 40 years. Actually, I apologize. I think next year, Scott had mentioned on his live that we're going to hit 40 years,
40
which is amazing. It's crazy because a lot of industries, a lot of companies can't say that. Especially with this year, a lot of people shut down. So to kind of accomplish that next year and you being there in the grunt of it, it's an amazing thing to accomplish. But I wanted to ask you, what would you give advice to other companies out there to maintain that position long term?
Well, you need to evolve. You need to change. You can't stay the way you were. If you don't change, you're going to die. You need to keep up with the times, technology-wise. When I think that when we started with wheels, we were just a marketing company that purchased a wheel.
That's right.
And marketed it and sold it. Today, we design them. We own our own factories. We're building our own product. And those things have to continue.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the case. You have to continue to evolve.
And that's one of the things that I wanted to mention on this podcast, that working here, there's a synergy between us all. That's the reason why I think there's also success. We work together well, and if your company works well and everything feels great, I feel like the end product always ends great.
Well,
and I think that starts with you.
I think that, and I know this is how I got here, and I believe that everyone that's here is about this. You got to love what you do.
Exactly.
Anyone who thinks they're going to go out there and make a lot of money and enjoy life and enjoy their job that doesn't love what they're doing, it's not going to happen. I still go to car shows or go to a race and get excited and see our product on a car and feel good. 40 years later, I've been selling Koenig product, and I still feel that way.
Yep. And that's one of my favorite things that we do in the mornings is when you come and talk to us over there and kind of just talk to us about what's going on, even if it's motorsports or not. I think that plays a big part in company growth. Being able to kind of talk to us. Like, I legitimately think of Joe as a friend. Even though he's the president of Konig, he always treated me like a friend, not just an employee. And that, to me, is one of the main reasons why I feel like we have success.
We got a good group of guys.
I think so.
We really do. And it's got a lot to do with our success, is that the guys, again, everyone likes what they do. We're a big family. Dysfunctional at times, but a big family.
Absolutely. Yep. Even even Scott, we love him too. I know you're watching out there, and we love you too. But yeah, I think 2020 was definitely a tough one. But working with you guys and working with under yourself, Joe, I'm grateful that you gave us such a safe space to work in. And honestly, I think that's the reason why we didn't. A lot of companies went under. We actually worked together well. We handled the panic well, and I'm grateful for that.
That's good. I'm good. Thank you.
I got a question from YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Start throwing questions in.
Do you want to answer a question? Is it for Joe?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
What newest cars or automotive technologies interest you most as an enthusiast?
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, so concern me possibly. I'll use the concern. Electronic stability control is now becoming what we had with ABS years ago and what we had with TPMS. Electronic stability control has so much effect in the width of wheels and adhesion levels, and there's so many things. So that's something that interests me in the sense that we need to know. I spent 3 days at Ford testing facilities last year while they were testing different things. So these are kind of things that are important to me. I can't say that I'm necessarily happy about it all, but we do need to know about it all.
Sure,
So
sure. Get a
number
foot
one for
ahead,
me
yeah.
would be electronic stability control.
All right. Well, there you go. Drag bag. That's the that's the name of it. But yeah, all right. So I wanted to end this with this last question that we have thrown in here. So, what are you most optimistic about when it comes to Koenig in its future?
So it comes back to people. It's always about people. This may be more inside industry information, but there's been a tremendous amount of mergers of companies and buyouts and going on. Koenig is itself, its own entity. We're not getting bought out by anyone. We're going to work amongst ourselves. Well, a lot of people getting caught up in politics. We're going to go ahead and sell wheels, which is what we do and what we do. We're going to build and sell wheels. So
there it is.
That's what I want to do.
There it is. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in with Joe. Is there any last words that you want to say as far as for 2020 and going into 2021 to some of the viewers?
Just want to say thank you for supporting us in 2020. Have a great new year, and hope to see you at some of the shows and the races.
All right, guys. So we're gonna bring Jared in a few. Thank you, Joe, for joining us. That was obviously for me really good, a great conversation, and having you on was honestly to me was important. That's the reason why I asked. So thank you so much for joining us,
guys. Thanks. Keep up the good work.
So. And we're back on.
Wow, just like that, movie magic. Now you're over here. I'm sitting back where you were.
So there it is, guys. That's our president over here at Konig, Joe Schaefer, giving you a little bit of some Konig history as well as giving you well wishes for 2021. Thank you for tuning in with that. With that said, we're going to answer some questions that we got on our Instagram and YouTube. I'm going to do my best to answer them as well as Jared. As I mentioned before, I'm not Scott. I don't have all the knowledge in the world when it comes to some of this stuff, but I will do my best to answer them. So we'll go one at a time. Do you want to answer that first one? Do you think you can handle that one?
I think so. Will the Koenig roller ever make a comeback? Asks Joga5. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure that answer is no.
There you go. He's got it. He's got it. Yep. So unfortunately, when something is discontinued, especially that it's been discontinued for this long, I'm pretty sure that it's not going to come back. But you could always check, third-party sellers are definitely out there selling them. So we apologize, but unfortunately, it's not going to come back. So next question is, any REM forms in 18.9.5 ET35 coming soon? I don't have a computer in front of me, so I can't tell when they'll be coming back, but I'm sure it's pretty soon. So just DM us, and we'll do our best to find out when we'll have that wheel again, if we're making it for sure.
Oh, and I can actually answer the next question,
Ooh.
I think.
Do you want me to ask? I'll ask it to you. All right. So what's Koenig's big plan for 2021? New wheels, new finishes. This is actually from our buddy Dakota over there in Fitment Industries. What's up, Dakota?
Thank you, Dakota. I'm not sure about the finishes. I don't think there are any new finishes, but I do know that we are starting a forge line very soon. So, yeah, stay tuned for that.
It's funny. I remember when Scott told me that we were going to do the forge line, he was like keeping it under wraps. He's like, "Yo, we're gonna start a Forge line," because you know so many people ask us all the time.
Oh, was
They're
I
like,
supposed to keep that a secret?
No. We already had revealed that before.
I'm
But I'm talking about when he had told me. It was actually a very exciting news. So yeah, stay tuned. 2021 Forge line coming soon. As Scott had mentioned in the live, you know, we are working out some kinks with it. But once we're ready to go, you'll know all the information, and we'll have a website and a web page for it.
Yeah, and so with that being said, True G asks, what's the timeline for the new Forge line?
Right now, all I could tell you is 2021, buddy. No, the beginning of 2021. You'll definitely know a little bit more about it, so stay tuned.
What else do we got here? When are the countergrams going to be back in stock at Fitment Industries? Asks Alpha Realty. I
would
think that's a
say-
Fitment Industries
Yeah,
question.
contact Fitment Industries, and we'll find out for sure. So hit them up on the DM or on the website. I'm sure they'll answer that for you.
What do we got?
Oh, okay. So next question is, does the 15.9 decagram fit the EK Civic with no issues? So this is to the best of my knowledge. When it comes to the 15.9, I think it's 35 offset. It is a little bit aggressive, but you shouldn't have any issues at all. But before you purchase anything, I always suggest to make sure you confirm that with your purchasing wheel and tire distributor. They'll definitely let you know the best that they can when it comes to fitments and whatnot.
In other words, consult a professional.
That's right, because I'm not a professional. I am, kind of.
Will the Hypergram be available in more finishes? Asks Poalo0845. I don't believe so.
So right now we don't have any plans. We did just come out with the metallic carbon with the machine lipped Hypergram that is now available. But unfortunately, when it comes to any new finishes for the Hypergram, we don't have anything like that planned just yet. But we always take your suggestions into consideration for the future. So yeah, but for right now, it's not in the plans.
All right. And then why y'all don't make 16-inch wheels and white wheels? We do make 16-inch.
So we do in some wheels, but I think he means more for the newer wheels or whatnot. The reason why so through the years, you know, obviously we've been around for almost 40 years. There's been a lot of trial and error. The reason why we don't do certain fitments or certain finishes is because it didn't work in the past. Doesn't necessarily mean that we won't do it in the future. It's just that for now, you know, we kind of found out what works. But as I said before, we take your suggestions into consideration always. So that doesn't mean that it won't happen in the future. Just right now, it's not available. But thank you for those suggestions.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Scott, you know, was always saying that you know, white has never really been in demand per se. So
exactly, it's like,
maybe
you know,
soon.
You know, I know some people like them. You know, some people want them, but you know, that doesn't always work. It's always one or two people that want them, but then everybody always wants, you know, solid colors, you know, or finishes. Sorry. But
So why not more offsets, especially in 5x1 14.3? Asks Anthony Misty.
it's the same. I would say it's the same answer as the last thing I said. It's a lot of trial and error. A lot of the reasons why we make certain fitments is because it's kind of our niche market. That doesn't necessarily mean that we won't try something in the future or try other things in the future if the demand is there. But that's the reason why we do certain things, is because we notice that when we make a specific, you know, out in these 40 years, we do a lot of trial and errors, and a lot of these fitments that we make usually are the ones that usually get asked for the most. So, but as always, your suggestions are always appreciated, and doesn't mean we won't do something with that in the future. So DM us, let us know what fitments you're looking for. Maybe we do have them, and you just haven't seen them, and we could suggest a certain style of wheel for you.
Well, and also just to quickly add to that, I mean, from a somewhat logical standpoint, we're trying to make wheels that fit, you know, the majority of cars in existence.
Exactly.
So that's primarily the reason why. But what Luis has said is also right.
All right, so I'll ask you this one. Ready? Will we see the SSM in a flat black face with the polished lip? What do you think?
What's
Just so you know, Jared's literally a week or two in here, so he, you know, I just wanted to see what he would say. Maybe he knew about the roller, so I was gonna see if maybe he knew about the SSM. So unfortunately, the SSM has been discontinued for some time now. I think we do make actually. I may be lying here because I don't have. I think we do have some sizes available, but as far as any new finishers or anything like that, it's just not happening anymore. The SSM unfortunately is on the way out. If we do have some finishes available, definitely contact us to do the DM or check out our website, and you'll definitely can see it on there if we have anything available.
So, do you remember that meme with I think it's Mary Kate or Ashley from Full House, where she just goes,
Yeah.
That's what I felt like when I just did that. So, just side note.
All right. So the next question is: are there any French dealers? I need a spare freeform. So unfortunately, we don't have anybody in France, but we do have some dealers in Europe. We actually have some a dealer in the UK. A few dealers in the UK, but you can actually reach out to Wheelbase Alloys and Performance Alloys. You also have someone in Sweden, that's Weiborg Engineering, that could definitely help you guys out for sure. So contact those guys. If you don't remember them off of what I just said, just DM us and I'll send that over to you. All right?
And then we have a YouTube question over there from Dragbag again. He says, do you have any plans for future 4x108 PCD rims? I know we already have some.
Yeah. But is there anything like a specific wheel that you're looking for in that PCD? Just DM us and we'll do our best to answer it. But yeah, we do have some. Just I'm not too sure which one you're looking for.
Well, maybe he's talking about future designs. I don't
future
know.
designs. Oh, well, stay tuned. Because I'm telling you, when it comes to those forged wheels, we have a lot of cool things coming in. We're working out, so stay tuned with those forged wheels. I'm sure that we'll have something to your liking there.
I think that looks like
That's
might
it.
be it. We got all our
Perfect.
comments, questions, and all that. So I guess
All right.
we close out.
So that was that was our first one. I'm sorry if I was a little nervous. I tried to do my best. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Jared, is there anything you want to say before we end this podcast?
Honestly, just a happy and a healthy new year to everybody. Stay safe, and let's look forward to a much better 2020 or 2021. Excuse me, I'm still stuck in the times.
As far as for myself, I want to say the same thing. Stay safe, stay healthy. I know 2020 was a tough one, but like I always do, and they always say, I try to be as positive as possible. So hopefully 2021 is a lot better than 2020, and I'm optimistic about it. So thank you for tuning in, guys. Thank you for riding with us and watching these podcasts. So from myself, Scott, Jared, Alex, Diggity Doubt, and the rest of the Konig team, Happy New Year's. Have a good one, and thank you for tuning in. Peace out, guys.